2025 edition of the expedition race NORCHA brought Adventure Racing Insider back to the mountains of northern Portugal for another epic journey. We followed teams of 4 across 500 kilometers of rugged and remote terrain through which they ran, biked, and paddled for 4 days straight. Arriving first in Villarreal, I had a day to walk the city of roughly 40,000 inhabitants. I went out looking for authentic cultural experiences, and I was not disappointed. After walking for nearly the entire day, I decided to find some local wines from the region and popped my head into a small shop. With my rudimentary knowledge of the Portuguese language, I was able to strike up a conversation with the owner and a couple who were there sampling some wines. We talked about adventure racing, a lot, and the wine continued to flow. My new friends ordered another bottle for us to share, and I couldn't say no. I went back the next day with Aussie filmmaker Anthony Gordon. The owner greeted us like old friends. She asked us if we would like some snacks with our wine, and when we said yes, she hurried away into the kitchen. With our wine came an ornate plate of petiscos, sort of a Portuguese charcuterie plate. With an exuberant air of kindness, the owner guided us through all the different flavors on our plates, and then had us seat at our table to enjoy a toast with us. It was a truly special experience, and the race hadn't even started yet. A slew of international adventure racing teams from across the globe were gathered at the start line the next day, and spirits were high. After a brief orienteering sprint, teams would embark on a roughly 500-kilometer journey of trekking, paddling, with nearly 360 kilometers of mountain biking. The course gradually led the teams away from the city center and into the bucolic landscapes of the region, Terras de Trosses Montes, the land beyond the mountains. Paved roads turned to cobblestone, cobblestone gave way to gravel, then dirt, and we soon found ourselves on what were nothing more than the well-worn paths from the local farmers tending to their fields in the same way, generation after generation. From early on in the race, the front runners were on the move, putting time between themselves and the field. Team Aaros of Denmark and Team Repuestos Ojea of Spain were followed closely by Uruguay Ultrasport and Alfa Dental. In the hot sun of the Portuguese countryside, many teams began to slow their pace. From a cloudless sky, the sun baked the landscape in 91-degree heat. Those who struggled with hydration would see their pace slow to a crawl at times. Portugal isn't particularly elevated. It tops out at just under 2,000 meters at its highest point, but the area of the Douro River Valley is filled with vertical features and plenty of elevation to gain. Erosion and weathering of the crumbling schist and granite surface rock has formed a sometimes severe landscape of sheer cliffs and jagged peaks. Appearing as a sawtooth pattern on an elevation profile, teams traversing this landscape must repeatedly climb and descend roughly 1,000 meters at a time. There is no one big climb on the course, just the satisfaction of visiting every high point on the way home. Into the second day, the teams were beginning to spread out even more. It is often the case that the first overnight section of an expedition race will blow the field apart, and NORCHA was no different. While some teams battled with the heat and elevation, the two strongest contenders for the overall win started to light a fire. How you feel now, though?
A lot better now that the sun is out.
Yeah.
We feel awake again.
Sun's out, gun's out.
Come on!
From here, Team Repuesto Ojea and Team Aaros locked in and launched out front. Only slightly faster on course, the Danish team's shorter transition times added up, garnering over an hour advantage over the second place team by the end of the race. Even after serving a 15-minute penalty for leaving a piece of gear at an earlier transition area, Team Aaros was in good spirits heading into the last day.
Today we know the world, eh? You fatty. Come on, Jonas, you can do it. Yeah.
From their vantage point, they had a comfortable lead over Team Repuesto Ojea with the finish line in their sights. Although they dealt with one puncture on the mountain bike, the race for Team Aaros was otherwise clear of mechanical issues, and they sprinted back out into the course for their final push. While some teams were running all gas, no brakes on the course, others, including our media team, were happy to take some extra time to experience the land and the culture of the Douro River Valley. After our first experiences at the shop in Villarreal, we were looking forward to what new culinary adventures we could have while in this remote and bountiful region. First and foremost, fruit is everywhere. Grapes, apples, pears, figs, even kiwi fruit. Pro tip, ripe port wine grapes make an excellent adventure race snack in a pinch. Nearly everywhere we stopped during this trip, we found something interesting to see, do, or eat, but mostly eat. And while Team Aaros was cruising into the finish line of NORCHA, the festival of Nossa Senhora dos Remedios in Lamego was just getting warmed up for the night. Traveling through the crowds, teams made their way to the finish throughout the night to choruses of drums, accordions, and fireworks. And in spectacular fashion, Team Aaros took the overall win at the 2025 edition of NORCHA. Their quick pace and efficient transitions sealed the win over second place Repuesto Ojea and earned them a qualifying spot at the AR World Championship. NORCHA is more than just a race, though. It's an epic journey through a timeless land of beauty, history, and culture, viewed through the lens of adventure and some of the toughest athletes in sport.